Welcome to the Common Man Football Show. My name is James Coburn, and today's episode, we're talking about the Green Bay Packers versus Detroit Lions Week 17 matchup based on analytics. Each week, I collect all of the current 2017 NFL team data in order to analyze and project potential NFL performance. And since it's a weekly collection, there's always going to be some variation between various variables. However, there's always going to be little nuggets of truth that could become bigger nuggets of truth as the season continues. So stick around as I analyze each week's matchups based on analytics. And if you're new to the channel, all terms and definitions will be in the description. So, starting with this matchup between the Green Bay Packers and the Detroit Lions, based on data, based on analytics. The one thing I will add about Week 17 is you never know what you're going to get. This is definitely one of those types of weeks where funny business happens. Teams tend to sit starters. They tend to, prepare for the playoffs. They try to throw guys out there that may not be ready, but they think are ready. So there's a lot of funny business that happens in the last week of the season. There's a lot of teams that are not really great all year that decide to rally together and get a win right before the end of the season. That's also another very common thing that happens. So there's definitely going to be some games that sway more so to the not so favored teams this week, I would say. But in this particular matchup, just to get into it, based on the NFL stat basic comparison data, as always, is the offensive data, defensive data, and special teams data, giving you a general sense of how all those units are performing, and of course a general sense of how high the team is scoring based on all those variables combined. And when you look at the overall data for this game, the Detroit Lions are pretty heavily favored in this game. And let's get into some reasons why. First off, offensively speaking, they quite frankly just have the better offense. They have a better offensive score percentage. They have a better sack percentage, meaning they don't allow as many sacks. I will say the Packers do have a better turnover ratio, so they don't turn the football over as much as the Lions do. But the offensive score percentage is by far one of the more important data points when it comes to finding teams that win football games. And that is something that the Lions definitely have. And on top of that, the Lions also have the better defensive offensive score percentage, meaning that they're able to prevent points more often compared to what the Packers defense is able to do. On top of the Lions having a better turnover ratio, a better interception percentage, and they may not have the better sack percentage. I mean, the Packers have the better sack percentage, but the Lions just have a better defense because they're able to prevent points, and they're also able to create turnovers and those other sort of aspects. So, the Packers definitely kind of edge the Lions out in a couple categories, but the categories that matter most to winning, like offensive score percentage and defensive offensive score percentage, both those areas more so go to the Lions. And then, of course, when you get to special teams data, punt return yardage favors the Lions, kick return yardage favors the Packers, defensive punt return yardage favors the Packers, defensive kick return yardage favors the Lions, field goal percentage favors the Lions, extra point percentage favors the Lions, and punting average favors the Packers. In terms of who has the better special teams, it is pretty much the Lions here. Field goal percentage, as I tell you guys each week, is by far the most important statistic when it comes to special teams data, and it's very clear who has the better field goal percentage. So the Lions are just able to kind of consistently hit three-pointers more often than the Packers, and that is a big deal to winning football games. If you do not have a very consistent field goal percentage, you are not going to win a lot of football games. And that's something that the Packers have not done this year. That they haven't won a ton of football games. So, but the overall data, the basic data does favor the Lions. Now, when you get into some other sort of matchups, so now we're getting into some micro data, down and distance data. When you look at the Lions offense versus Packers defense when it comes to completion percentage, the Lions are favored here in terms of first, second, and third down. Then, of course, we get to the Packers offense versus the Lions defense when it comes to completion percentage. And in this particular area, the Lions defense is favored on second and third down. So The Lions kind of come up on top when it comes to their offense, when it comes to completion percentage, and in terms of their defense when it comes to completion percentage. So both sides of the football, they tend to kind of kill this metric pretty well. And then, of course, you get to rushing down. So this is the first down conversion rate with the run. Again, this really has nothing to do with yardage or explosive plays. It purely has to do with the ability to convert first downs into first downs, second downs into first downs, or third downs into first downs using the run. And based on the data, the Packers defense edges the Lions offense out when it comes to the ability to basically rush the football or get first downs with the football. So the Lions offense, in many ways, at least their rushing offense, has not been the most consistent this year, whereas the Packers defense has been fairly consistent when it comes to their run defense. So definitely more so favors the Packers here when it comes to stopping the run and preventing first downs with the run. And then, of course, when you get to the Packers offense versus the Lions defense, kind of the opposite. The Packers are favored here in terms of first, second, and third down when it comes to their rushing offense. Again, all those areas kind of more so favor them in that aspect. So the Packers kind of dominate when it comes to stopping the run and picking up first downs with the run compared to what the Lions are able to do. Then, of course, we get to passing downs. So this is basically the ability to convert with the pass, convert first downs with the pass. And in this area, the Lions are favored in terms of first, second, and third down over the Packers defense. So it's not surprising that the Lions offense should have a lot of success passing the football in this game. On top of that, you look at the Packers offense versus the Lions defense, where the Lions are favored in terms of first and third down. So the Lions pretty much do well in terms of passing downs and completion percentage when it comes to their defense and their offense. So both those areas pretty much kind of really help the Lions and kind of show why they're so heavily favored in this game. And then, of course, you get to sack rate between the Lions offense and the Packers defense, where there are major advantages for the Packers offense in terms of first down and third down. Those are the downs where the Packers get most of their sacks. Those are also downs where the Lions don't really do well in terms of preventing sacks. Preventing sacks has been a Achilles heel for the Lions this year, and I think it definitely will show up in this game because of the Packers' ability to kind of sack the quarterback, especially in first and third down situations. Then, of course, we get to sack rate for the Packers offense versus Lions defense. This area, the Lions defense is favored on first and third down. There are some downs and distances where the Packers kind of do really well, but I do think the Lions will have a lot of success just because of how poor the Packers have been in terms of preventing sacks, as well as the Lions has this year. Then, of course, we get to interception ratio between the Lions offense and the Packers defense, where the Lions offense is favored on first and third down. And then finally, you get to the Packers offense versus Lions defense, where the Lions are favored on first and second down. So overall, general thoughts and opinions about this game. I think it's a Lions victory. I think the Lions will close this one out strong. I don't see a lot of scenarios where the Packers will kind of recover. I'm going to be getting more into where the Packers can improve, and the Lions as well, once the season's actually over. But I do think this video should give you some ideas about some of the strengths and weaknesses that both these teams have. Both of these teams are not really amazing per se. They all have some very big flaws, but the Lions just happen to have less flaws than the Packers, and as a result, that's why they're heavily favored, and that's why I think they'll win. But let me know in the comments section below, who do you believe is going to win this football game? And of course, my name is James Coburn. You can find my other work at draftcoburn.wordpress.com. You can also follow my Twitter account at Geometrics. And if you like this content and you want more content like this, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Share this video as well with anybody that you know. Hit that notification button so that you're always reminded when another video of mine drops. And I will talk to you guys in the next video. Peace.